Welcome back, guys. Hope you've all had a great week. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to convert your 104 to a hydraulic clutch system. Let's go and take a look.
Are you listening? Damn.
Now then, before we get started, let's look at what the 104 came with originally. For those who don't know, the 104 had a 4-cylinder 2.6 engine mated to a 3-speed transmission. Now, what our vehicle has, let me just flip it round and show you, is a BN2 4-speed gearbox, which is regarded as a better unit. Again, this came with the car, so we're going with what we were given. We've got the original BM1 overdrive, and that is mated to a 106 6-cylinder car bell housing, which has got the 2 mounting brackets down on the side. Move that out of the way for you, and then obviously the fork and the arm, which inside will actuate our clutch. I'm going to go through what you'll need to convert your 104, because I'm not saying it's a common modification, but it's a modification that some people do. Because the original, I'll put some little pictures up here to help things click in a little bit better. The original 3-speed box on the 104, the bell housing was moulded into the gearbox itself, and it was a rod operated. So obviously you pressed the clutch pedal, which actuated a rod and a pivot point and another rod, which then eventually actuated the clutch itself. Now, I'm sure that's a very reliable setup, but you can get uprated rods, so it tells me that maybe they were a little bit weak potentially. But at the same time, hydraulic system can fail. But because we're running the 106 6-cylinder bell housing and the 4-speed BN2 box with our car, we've had to convert. So I'll show you what you'll need to achieve the same thing. Let's take a look at the engine a second. Now then, original 4-cylinder 2.6 engine. The only thing that's different on the engine is the backplate down there. That backplate has to be changed to accept the bell housing itself, because obviously they're on different footprints. You can get the plates online. They're about 95 quid, which isn't the end of the world. Obviously you're then going to need yourself 106 bell housing, and then we've got the 4-speed BN2 gearbox, but I'm sure there's a concoction of other 4-speed Healey boxes that you can probably make together to get the same thing. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to show you what we're running. Now obviously the 2 bolts on the side of the bell housing give you the ability to run the 106 slave cylinder. Now let's work backwards a little bit from the gearbox to the car, and I'll show you what else you'll need. You will need a place to mount the flexible line coming off of your slave cylinder onto the body where it goes onto the hard line. Let me show you. Down in there you will need to weld a bracket to your chassis leg, which will then take the hard line, which comes from your new master cylinder, which will then come round to the flexi that comes onto your slave cylinder. One more thing to think about. When I bought the bits and bobs online to convert ours, I bought our slave cylinder, and the company that we dealt with said, bear in mind the bleed nipple is very close to the chassis, you can get an extension. So they said an extension is just basically a braided hose which extends your bleed point, which you can cable tie out of place. Obviously you wouldn't cable tie it, because you'd never ever use a cable tie on an Austin Healey. You know that, guys, you should know that by now. So you can clip out of the way, so you can just pull it down, bleed your clutch, and it makes it all a lot more accessible and a lot easier. Now let's look at what we originally had brake and clutch setup wise on the 104 BM1. Now then, you had a fluid reservoir on the right hand drive vehicles. It was mounted down here. On the left hand drive vehicles, it was mounted over the back on the bulkhead area. Now the BM1, the fluid reservoir had one takeoff on the bottom of it. I'm sure I'll put up some pictures to make this a little bit more interactive instead of me just telling you exactly what there is without putting some nice pretty pictures up for you. So originally you had a fluid reservoir with one nipple, one takeoff, because that just used to go to the brake system, which was hydraulic on the early cars. Now you're going to need a fluid reservoir with two nipples on, which is going to feed your two master cylinders. So obviously you'll need a master cylinder from 106, but you will also need a bracket. So let's go and take a look at our bracket that enables us to run the two master cylinders on this car. Now it is a very, very, very nice, well engineered, bolt-in, removable, completely reversible bracket. Can I take any credit for making it and fabricating it whatsoever? No, unfortunately not. It's another bit of Dan Howells' handiwork. I'll tell you more about his work later on. Let's go and take a look. Now then, this is our lovely bracket that has been made for us. Now originally the master cylinder on the BM1 would have picked up on these mounting points, one under here and one here. Now then, that would have been actuated by the brake pedal in the middle here, which picks up just on here with a standard clevis, just like we've done on our new clutch. Now then, that pedal will obviously push forward, and a relief has been cut into our bracket for clearance so that you still get full pedal travel. Now also don't forget to put a spring return in as well, because originally there was a tab just here for your brake pedal. So as I say, you've now got a bracket and you've got a clutch master cylinder itself. So I pop that one out of the way. When your clutch pedal is depressed, you'll push the clutch pedal down, and that will then in turn at the end of the pedal bar push the master cylinder, which will then push fluid all the way down the line to your slave cylinder down there. Another thing to point out, guys, as I say, you've got your reservoir over there with your two outlets on. The lines to your master cylinders are a size bigger than the outlets, which is obviously the same size as the rest of the brake lines on the rest of the car. And like I say, let me just show you the inside of the bracket. Just scoot underneath the car. We have a bracket in here which has been welded on. It's got a nice little scallop taken out of it and a couple of nuts welded onto it, so that you can put this section of the bracket, it bolts into here. I hope you can see this with the lights above us, and bolts into here. So if you wanted to reverse the whole process, it would be a simple case of removing 6 bolts, and then you'd just be left with one bracket on the inner sill. But apart from that, it's completely reversible. And that is it. So there we go then. I hope the quality of that video, because I was working in a very confined space down there, was good enough, and it gives you a little bit of an insight into the bits and bobs that you may need to acquire if you want to convert your 104 to a hydraulic clutch. It's by no means a very quick process, because obviously you've got to replace the back plate on the engine, you need a bell housing, you need a gearbox, you need a wonderful bracket, but it gives you a good idea. I hope this video has been helpful today, guys, because if it helps even one person, then it makes it worth making. If you're new to the channel, then you wouldn't know that we are very, very close to turning the key and hopefully getting our 104 running for the first time in 30 years, which is going to be a fantastic day after a couple of years of long, hard restoration work. And if you want to see more from us and you want to see when we turn the key, you're going to have to subscribe, guys. Have a wonderful week as always. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. See you later.